Good morning and Happy New Year, everyone. A hearty welcome to the first GIS Conversation webinar in 2017. Share your holiday stories with Maps. I'm Felicia and I'll be your host for today's webinar. Happy to see that we have a great mix of participants ranging from educations, local governments, commercials, and business partners joining us today. And not to mention our guests from overseas as well. Looking forward to interacting with all of you as this program progresses. Before we start, let's do some quick housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded and it will be available by the beginning of next week. You will be receiving an email that includes the link to the recorded webinar, and it will be also be published on the landing page of the GIS Conversation program. Please feel free to visit and give us your feedback on the contents. While the webinar is happening, please feel free to send us your questions through the Q&A panel, and we will address them at the end of the session. Finally, we will wrap up the webinar with some quick announcement. Let's start with a quick introduction to Esri for the benefit of our friends who are joining us for the first time. Esri is the market leader in geospatial solutions, and for the past 40 years, we have been providing cutting-edge spatial solutions to hundreds of organizations across the globe to leverage spatial insights using its powerful yet intuitive tools and templates. Esri Singapore is the Singapore-based entity that supports the in-country clients with implementation and training since 1981 and serve more than 700 clients. We have some great presentation lined up for you today, but before we get rolling, I would like to take a minute to introduce our speaker for the session, Kat. Kat holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Geography from University of the Philippines and has 7 years of IT and GIS industry experience. Prior to joining Esri Singapore, Kat worked in imagery support as well as supporting Singapore's OneMap application. In addition, she has conducted Esri ArcGIS training courses and technical support in the Philippines. As part of the business solution team in Esri Singapore, I'm actively involved in covering geospatial solutions on the Esri ArcGIS platform for clients and business partners to help organizations get value, added insights from spatial technology, developing of prototypes to showcase new capability, and conducting technical workshops. So what's Story Map all about? Story maps are a simple yet powerful way to inform, engage, and inspire people with any stories you want to tell that involve map, places, locations, or geography. They make it easy for you to harness the power of maps to tell a story. Hope that sounds exciting to you as it is for me. And with this, I would like to now turn the time over to Kat to show you how to create fascinating and interactive story maps. Kat, over to you.
Thank you, Felicia. A pleasant day to everyone. I'm Catlea Ray de la Cruz, and I'd like to welcome you all to our webinar for today, the Story Maps, Telling Stories with Map Templates. So for our agenda, we'll try to cover an overview of what Story Map is, check what are the available templates, and some examples on how others use it. We'll also create our own story map and some tips to improve your stories. So let's start. So first, what are story maps? Story maps are simple web apps that are single purpose. They are a combination of interactive maps published on ArcGIS Online and multimedia content. So these are your photos, your videos, audios, and also text. Story maps are meant to inform, educate, entertain, and inspire people all around the world. Story maps are also hosted by Esri in the cloud by default, so you don't have to worry about maintaining your own server. But you still have the option to host them yourself if you want to. So for me, this is the key thing about Story Map. Esri incorporated the builder function that enables you to build a beautiful, sophisticated story with no GIS skills or no web development skills needed. So imagine creating a web application that doesn't require you to know any programming at all. So for the developers here today, StoryMap is also open source. You are utmost welcome to download the source codes, which is available in GitHub and is accessible via Esri website as well. Esri urge you to customize them or tweak them or even improve them, as we love to see it when a story map is being customized. Story maps also includes an array of apps that provide multiple use cases. So you can learn how people use maps and how maps can support storytelling. So they have come up with these models. Like, for example, if you want to tell sequential narratives or even comparing two maps together at the same time, even enabling a crowd to participate in your story. So Esri has gone through these several prototypes and released the apps so that you can pour your content into creating a beautiful story map. Now that we know the story map, let's see what are the available templates or apps that we can already use. Let's start with the simplest one, the Story Map Basic. This is a very minimalist approach and interface. If you have a single map, why don't you let your map speak for itself? The user can just click in the feature to see more description in the pop-up. In fact, the author of this story map also embedded a video to support the description. The next template that we have is the Story Map Tour. The Story Map Tour is ideal for a sequence of place-enabled photos or videos. So you can use this if you want to present a linear, place-based narrative content featuring images or videos. The story map, each point in the Story Map Tour is geolocated. The user has the option to click sequentially or even navigate and interact with the map, or use the thumbnail carousel at the bottom. So imagine coming from your vacation and you want to share the places you visit or the pictures you have taken. So the Story Map Tour is very ideal for a walking tour or if you want your users to follow a sequence of order. Now, what if you want to showcase a rich multimedia narrative content? So the next two templates will be right for you. First is the Story Map Journal. The Story Map Journal is very ideal when you want to combine narrative text with maps or other embedded content. Each section in the Story Map Journal has an associated photos, map, or even videos. The second one in our rich multimedia narrative content is the Story Map Cascade. So this is very perfect if you want a visually and editorially engaging full screen scrolling experience. Very easy for the people to navigate. In fact, right in front of your eyes is the Story Map Cascade template. It has immersive sections that fill the screen with your maps, even 3D scenes, images, and also videos. Now, if you want to present a series of maps, Esri created 3 templates for you to choose from. The first one is the Story Map Series tab layout, which present the map via series of tabs. The tabs can have optional description panel for presenting your text. The next one in our Story Map series is the side accordion layout. So this presents a series of maps and accompanying text and content in an expandable panel. So the users can just click in the title And the map will be selected, and it will also expand to reveal the text. The last one in our story map series is the bulleted layout. So this will present the map in a numbered bullet, one map per bullet. It's a good choice if you want a large number of maps to present. Another new template that we have is the story map crowdsource. This will enable you to publish and manage a crowdsourced story in which anyone can contribute. The users can just log in or sign in using their Google account or RGS Online account to contribute. And you have the option to review and approve the contribution. Now, what if you want to present a large number of places and you want to organize them in tabs based on themes? We have what we call Story Map Shortlist. This is a very colorful and fun way to present points of interest. The users can just zoom in the map and the tabs will auto-update and will only show the places within the current map extent. Comparing two maps is also easy with the use of these two templates. First is the story map swipe. The story map swipe can compare two maps at the same time by sliding back and forth. And the other one is the story map spyglass. This is similar to the story map swipe, but you're using a spyglass tool to peer through one map to another. And of course, Esri encourages us to have a customized design based on your project requirements. Just like this example. The author even actually embedded a 3D web scene into his story map. So now that we are familiar with the templates, let's start creating our own story maps. So the easiest way to create a story map is to visit storymaps.rjs.com, go to My Stories, so in this page, you will see all the story maps that you have created and also to create your own story. So just click in this Create Story button. For this demonstration, I'd like to create a story map tour. So in this particular dialog box, we are just being asked where are our images or videos located. So it's either going to be in Flickr or Picasa or YouTube. But for this demonstration, I have all my images in my local machine. So I'll choose this one. I'll create a layer name. So for this one, I'd like to create a story map tour for the night safari here in Singapore. It's one of the famous tourist spots here. So night safari tour. I'll create a layer. So this is the initial web page that you will see. So I'll first change the base map. I'd like to use the OpenStreetMap base map. And then I'll start adding the points of interest. So these are the animals that you can actually see in the night safari. So let's try adding one. Type the information. Look for the location. And then add the tour point. You can still change the location of the tour point. Actually, for the OpenStreet base map, it has some of the animals that you can actually see in this night safari. So I'll move it to this location. Maybe I can add some more. This one. And then you can add the title, some supporting description, and then start saving. So once the story map is saved, you can also share it so that your audience can also see. So from here, I have already created the Night Safari. You can also share it to public, maybe add some description, and you can also put it or nominate it into the gallery. You just have to put the thumbnail, share it publicly, and add some subjects and tags. So a route to a great story map is first envision your story. What kind of stories do you want to tell? Choose the right templates, prepare and optimize. So if you have a lot of images, increase the resolution. Start building your story, refine, review, and repeat the process to beautify your story map. And lastly, share and promote your story map. So if you have a story to tell, why not use our story maps? You can visit storymaps.rjs.com for the info. There are some inspiration in the gallery you can choose from. You can start building your stories and manage your stories as well. So if you have a good one, try submitting it to the gallery. Maybe your next story map will be added into our gallery. You can also connect with us using our LinkedIn or Esri Singapore training website. Even subscribe into our e-newsletter. And we have an upcoming course regarding the story map. It's a one-day course scheduled in 6th of April. We'll be happy to see if you register on this course. I'll give you back to Felicia for more conclusion. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Kat. Okay, so let's take a look if there's any questions for us. Okay, let's see. Kat, do you have any questions over there?
Okay. I actually have received one question regarding the use of story map offline. So currently, the story map is not supported on offline usage. The users actually must be connected to internet or your enterprise network in case of portal for RJS. Another question that we have, is it possible to embed web page in the story map? The best template for you to choose is the story map journal or the story map series. That's all I have, Felicia. So another question that we have is, can the story maps be embedded in a web page? Yes, actually, you can embed it in your web page.
Okay, can. Um, okay.
Another question is, how will crowdsourcing story maps work? I'm not getting the question actually, but the story map crowdsourcing is currently in beta. Uh, you can create the story map, and you can create the story map, and the users can just log in using their uh, Google or RGS online account, and then contribute to your story. And then you have the option if you want to review the story before posting it in your crowdsourcing.
screen. Okay, well, folks, this brings us to the end of the webinar. Okay, so I think for the rest of because we are running out of time, so the rest of the question will actually you can actually drop us an email. We'll actually get back to you. Okay, so before that, we'd like to announce that on the Jan 20th, Friday afternoon, there will be a day of our first invite-only informal meeting in Singapore. On this day, the GIS conversation team will take the initiative to bring together experts and others around the theme of maps, bring stories to life. We will have experts from the Singapore Land Authority, SLA, and the Urban Redevelopment Authority, URA, sharing their journey with story maps. And if you have any interesting story map to share, please feel free to write to us at connect@esrisingapore.com.sg, and we will be happy to showcase the same during the event. Thank you again for joining us, and do stay tuned for the next few sessions on exploration using insects for ArcGIS, which is a game changer for amazing spatial data visualization capability via a browser with no plugin required. Okay, so that's all we have. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.